Good evening. This is Ryan Thompson, and if you're on this call, you are in the right place at the right time, and I am honored to be hosting this call this evening. I've been involved for more than 2 decades in the network marketing industry, and during this time, I've been involved with and co-founded great companies with tremendous products and services. I want you to know that I've never been involved with something as big as this. I've never been involved with something as historic as what we are going to be launching into the marketplace. So let me tee up this call tonight by simply saying that we are poised to take on a $7 trillion global industry that is old and outdated, and we'll be doing this with an army of independent entrepreneurs and small business owners. Now, while we will be talking about something that no one is doing yet in the marketplace and the enormity of this business opportunity, this call tonight is really about you and how you can play a key role with us as we revolutionize this massive $7 trillion healthcare industry. So let's get right to it. You're going to hear from key members of our team talking about aspects of this opportunity, and I hope that you'll pay very close attention to what each person says. I want you to also visualize your role in the launch and rollout of this new project. Now, the first presenter on tonight's call is our founder and our CEO, Mr. Dan Richards. Dan started this company, Global Rescue, 12 years ago after retiring from Wall Street in private equity at the age of 30. His character, his values are in alignment with the values of our entire team, which is to do good while doing well. Now, the original mission of this company was simple. We save lives. He's been a competitive athlete and played collegiate football, is a husband and father to 2 young children, and he's leading our charge with Global Rescue Direct. It's a great pleasure to introduce to you tonight Dan Richards. Dan, the time is yours.
Thanks, Ryan. I couldn't be more excited to be on this call with all of you today and to talk about what I think is a tremendous opportunity to disrupt one of the largest and most dysfunctional industries in the world, the $7 trillion healthcare industry. But before I go into talking about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, I think it makes sense for you to know a little bit about both me and Global Rescue and what we've been able to accomplish over the last 12 years. So my personal background is I began my career a decade ago. I spent my first decade on Wall Street in the investment banking and private equity industries. And through financing and making investments in over 30 companies worth more than $3.5 billion, I learned what separated good companies from great companies and good management teams from great management teams. But what I didn't get was the sense of fulfillment and sense of purpose that Global Rescue has provided. You know, I'm the son of an entrepreneur, and I knew I always wanted to do something on my own to get my hands dirty and do something that made a difference and was more aligned with my values. And of course, I wanted to do well financially, and I thought that if I could combine doing good in the world with doing well financially, that would be the holy grail in terms of business models, or at least it was for me. And so I set out to find that business model. And fortunately, in 2004, I did. I had observed that there was a need for critical travel risk, travel assistance, and crisis management services in the post-9/11 world that weren't being delivered. And so I went out and formed an exclusive relationship with Johns Hopkins Medicine, which today has been ranked number 1 in the U.S. 23 out of the last 25 years. I hired a bunch of nurses, paramedics, doctors, and special operations veterans and set about fulfilling the need and the gap that I perceived to be in the marketplace. And what we've accomplished over the last 12 years in this industry has been nothing short of revolutionary. Today we have 7 offices in 5 countries, and I'm blessed to have nearly 250 of some of the most skilled, dedicated, and wonderful teammates in the world. We've performed over 10,000 operations in some of the most difficult locations on Earth, and there hasn't been a significant global event of the last 12 years, whether it be a terrorist attack, a natural disaster, or other major event that we haven't been successfully involved in. We've also been fortunate enough to have been covered by many of the major media outlets in this country, including CNN, PBS, Wall Street Journal, Fox News, New York Times, and many others. But honestly, what's most important to me is that by perfecting the delivery of these medical and other critical services, that we've been able to help literally tens of thousands of our members and make a positive impact in their lives, and in some cases, even save their lives. But as much as we've accomplished, there's one piece of feedback that we've gotten from our members that's always bothered me through the years. And it comes in the form of a question. And that question has always been, can't I call you from home? And the answer has always been no. And that's troubled me. And it's troubled me for two reasons. Number one, because of the fact that someone would feel like they needed to call us from home. It meant that the healthcare system in this country was so broken that they didn't have a relationship with a healthcare provider that could give them what it was that they needed. And number two, that because we were being forced to say no, not because we couldn't deliver the service. We certainly could and did, but because of the Byzantine regulatory environment in the U.S. that prevented us from actually delivering that service to people in their homes when they needed it. Well, several years ago, we started trying to figure out how to say yes, and I'm proud to be able to tell you that we are just a few short days away from not just saying yes, but shouting yes, and not just to our members, but in the marketplace as a whole. And what we believe, have grown to believe as we've studied this industry and gotten to this yes moment, is that this could be incredibly disruptive in healthcare as a whole. And I firmly believe that just in the way that Uber has disrupted how we hail a cab and how cell phones have disrupted how we make telephone calls, that what we're about to do will be transformative and disruptive with respect to the way that people access healthcare. So you're probably asking yourself, what exactly are they going to do? Well, let me tell you. We are going to provide immediate on-demand access 24/7, 365 to urgently needed medical advisory and consultative services that include video consultations with our paramedics, our nurses, and our physicians. We're going to provide subspecialty consult and other kinds of services for people who need to get a second opinion in 18 subspecialties backed by some of the best doctors and medical professionals in the world. And just as we are today for travelers, the resource of choice when they experience an emergency, we intend to become the company that our members turn to when they have a medical or other type of family crisis. To do this, we've recruited a world-class team led by Doug Robinson, Dave Phelps, and Ryan Thompson, who you heard from at the beginning of the call. These guys have a long track record of creating incredibly successful and valuable network marketing companies. And what we've realized is that in order for us to be successful in transforming healthcare and capitalizing on this opportunity, we're going to need a whole army of revolutionary-minded entrepreneurs to make this happen for us. Over the last 12 years, we've developed the critical resources at Global Rescue that we think we're going to need to be successful. And we've honed and perfected the application of those resources since our founding. So let me challenge you to be among the first to join us in this new enterprise. Go to our website, check it out, enter your information, share it with the people you know, that you care about, that you want to have as teammates, and that you want to have in there with you, disrupting what will ultimately be one of the largest and greatest opportunities that certainly I've been involved in, and that you can be a part of as well. So join me in helping us reclaim the ability to take control of our healthcare. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on this call and for joining us. Ryan, back to you.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Dan. And I hope that everybody was able to really feel the vision that he has and the passion for this project. This is truly revolutionary. Now, the next presenter is a man that I've known and worked with for the past 6 years and is really uniquely qualified to be the president of Global Rescue Direct. Having spent 6 years in the network marketing industry, both as a CEO and also serving as a board member on the Direct Selling Association's board. He's also uniquely qualified because he has spent 25 years as an insider to this $7 trillion healthcare industry and understands exactly where it's broken, why others have failed to fix this, and exactly what needs to happen in order to transform and revolutionize this industry. He's really a man who always stands by his word. He does what he says he'll do, and it's an honor to introduce him tonight on this call, the one and only Mr. Doug Robinson. Go ahead, Doug.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Ryan, and thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
This is truly an exciting night. It's an honor for me and a very proud moment to be introducing Global Rescue Direct to you. The macroeconomic realities of the healthcare delivery system in the U.S., coupled with our Global Rescue Direct value proposition and launch opportunity, are colliding in an amazing way, literally as we speak. As Ryan just mentioned, I spent the first 25 years of my professional career embedded in the healthcare field, namely as a strategic consultant to some of America's largest corporations as they struggled year in and year out with really the design and affordability of their healthcare offerings. I also had the privilege of running one of the largest managed care companies in the healthcare industry. I understand as well as anyone, having been a healthcare insider, that the U.S. healthcare system is broken. And for that matter, as broken as our system is here in the U.S., the healthcare systems throughout the world are even more broken than ours. Over the last several years, I've also had the privilege of running a publicly traded network marketing company as its president and CEO. I was also honored to sit on the board of directors for the Direct Selling Association here in the U.S., and I have the utmost respect for network marketing professionals and their ability to bring new ideas to market and be change agents in disrupting industries that are old, outdated, and ripe for revolutionary change. Dan talked about how government and large health insurance companies have had their chances to successfully reform our healthcare system, but they've failed. As an ex-industry insider, let me take a minute to expound on that as well as describe the solutions that we have in place. There are three fundamental areas where our healthcare system is broken. First, how people access the system is deeply flawed. Second, the quality of the care they receive once they're in the system is lacking significantly. And third, the cost associated with the care they receive is unacceptably high and going higher at an alarming pace. Convoluted access, poor quality, and increasingly high costs are at the root of this broken system. But improving access, restoring high quality, and lowering cost are the three areas that we will specifically address as we launch our total care services into the marketplace. Let me quickly share some disturbing trends related to the U.S. healthcare industry. These are all cited from various leading industry journals dating from 2014 to the present. Currently in the U.S., there are 62 million people who either have no or inadequate access to a primary care physician or PCP. The average lead time to see a PCP is 19 days. The average duration of an office visit is 13 to 16 minutes. 81% of PCPs describe themselves as overextended. 44% of PCPs are now limiting access to their practices. 27% of healthcare spending is wasted or unnecessary or poorly delivered services. I'm sure all of you listening in tonight, feel that could be you, trying to see your PCP. Once you're in the office, only having a few minutes with him or her. By accessing the healthcare system virtually through our total care value proposition, you'll have immediate access 24/7, 365. You'll have access to the care that is necessary for you in a manner that exudes high quality as you would define it. And with respect to cost, it's really cost avoidance. All too often we've been conditioned to rush off to ERs and urgent care facilities for issues that might appear necessary at the heat of the moment, but are often anything but necessary. Our care professionals will help to determine what is necessary and prudent for the best possible outcomes each and every virtual visit. What's more, these services are available to our members anywhere in the world, not just here at home. And if they're traveling somewhere and have an emergency, we'll be there for them, both over the phone and in person if necessary, regardless of their location or the nature of their problem. The government has had their at-bat, as have the insurance companies. They've failed to change healthcare for the better. Access is still chaotic and unacceptable to even nominal standards. The quality of care isn't close to what any reasonable person would agree with. And cost, they're still too high and going higher at an alarming pace. It's time for change. It's time for a revolution. We've assembled a world-class network marketing team here at Global Rescue Direct over the course of the last several months, dating back to late last year. Combining this team with Global Rescue, a company with a proven track record of excellent performance over the last 12 years of literally saving lives, is not only amazing, but necessary to lead this revolution. Together, we're going to change healthcare. The way we're going to do this is by arming you, our army of entrepreneurs, to join this revolution with us, and together we will make a difference. This is an unbeatable combination, so let's get ready to begin the revolution. Ryan?
All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Doug. And to keep this call moving right along, I want to introduce our next presenter and key member of our team, who's a consummate entrepreneur. Now, you've heard the vision of the founder and CEO, Dan Richards. You've heard the unique qualifications that the president of our company brings to us with very deep experience in healthcare. And this next presenter has tremendous experience in the network marketing industry. As a matter of fact, the next one up to bat happens to be a great friend of mine. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona. He's a great father and great husband. In fact, he's joining us right now from the hospital and is the proud new father of a brand new baby girl. He's also a consummate student of the network marketing industry and entrepreneur. He's been in 5 companies, and over the years, he's built multi-million-dollar businesses. What I know about him is that when he sees an opportunity, he really seizes that opportunity, which is why he's with us tonight and a member of this team joining us in this revolution. Again, it's a pleasure to introduce my great friend out of Phoenix, Arizona, Mr. Johnny Tashin.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Man, my emotions are off the charts right now. You know, as Ryan said, I was blessed yesterday afternoon with a beautiful baby girl. I now have 2 amazing children, a little boy and now a little angel in our life. My wife and I couldn't be more excited. And honestly, our family and the legacy that we're going to be able to leave them is one of the main reasons that I looked at the network marketing industry 14 years ago. And it was one of the deciding factors that made me get involved in this incredible industry and pursue to become a student entrepreneur. And I use the student and entrepreneur in the same sentence because, you know, to be able to continually grow and evolve as an entrepreneur, you really have to be a student in whatever industry you're in. And this has been such a learning and a growing process over the last 14 years. And some of the things that it's taught me is that, you know, life throws curveballs at you, and it presents sometimes opportunities unexpectedly and in the most inopportune of times. You know, being an entrepreneur isn't the easiest path. There are easier ways out there to be able to live your life, but if you choose this path, it's some of the most rewarding experiences that I've ever been able to see, not only in my life, but in the lives of close friends and family around me. And, you know, one of the things, being a father, having these children, I've seen firsthand the problems that exist in the healthcare industry. I've been able to make financial decisions on the health of myself and my family based upon finances and based upon what we could afford. And when I saw what Global Rescue has been able to accomplish in the last 12 years, over 10,000 missions around the world in over 195 countries, I saw this is the opportunity to be a part of something that's going to be a disruptive service. You know, over time, many different companies are created and they disrupt an industry that's been around for decades. And you may have heard some people mention or compare this to being the Uber of healthcare. You know, these companies, they don't create I shouldn't say that they create something that is absolutely magical, but they didn't invent that industry. What they did was they took advantage of services and technologies available to them, implemented it, and because of that, they disrupted something that some people said couldn't be disrupted. And when I saw this, I said, this is an opportunity to make not only incredible changes here in the United States, in the industry that I've experienced so many problems with, but here's an opportunity to make changes in the world, to disrupt an industry that people said couldn't be disrupted, and at the same time, having an opportunity to be in front of a company like that in a pre-launch setting. I've had the opportunity to be involved in a pre-launch setting in a couple of other companies. And by saying yes at the times that I did, when it was the most difficult, when there were a lot of unknowns, it ended up being the best decision I had ever made in my life. And it not only allowed me to grow as an individual, it allowed me to be able to further myself, my income, and the legacy that I knew one day I would want to be able to leave to children. And this is long before I knew I was ever going to have a difficult road having kids. It took us 7 years for our first. It took us almost 5 years for our second. But you know what? Just like some of the different issues all of us face on a day-to-day basis aren't easy. Being an entrepreneur isn't easy as well. You have to choose your level of hard. Some people choose to be at a job they hate, for a boss they don't enjoy, for an income that they can't stand and they can't provide for, but that's still a choice. And when I saw that I had an opportunity to participate in the pre-launch of a company that was going to disrupt an industry that was on the cusp of collapse, they have the ability to create true change and financial benefit and health benefits to millions and millions of people around the world, there's no way I was going to allow that to pass up, because I got involved in this industry to create something for my family. And the window of opportunity to roll in Global Rescue Direct is right now before it closes in August. You need to make the decision for yourself. You have to weigh out what you want to accomplish in your life. So here's what I'd say in closing, is that you be able to position yourself in front of a $7 trillion industry. Don't let this pass you by. I was involved in the real estate industry, and I made some decisions that I wish I could go back and do differently. And so when I saw this, I challenged myself, no matter how difficult the decision was, no matter what was going on in my life, that I wasn't going to let this pass by. And I challenge you to bet on yourself and bet on this opportunity and get a part of something that allows you to take your turn at being in front of something massive. It's not going to be the easiest road, but if you get involved with a solid group of people and with a solid company, the miracles that you can create for yourself and your family are unlike anything that most of us have been able to experience in our lives to this point. So jump on the ride. It's going to be a revolution, and it's going to be an absolute blast over the next 90 days specifically. Back to you, Ryan.
All right. Thank you so much, Johnny. Now I'm excited to lock arms and partner with you in this effort. And the next member of our amazing team that I have the great pleasure of introducing is a great friend of mine. And this man attracts people to him and to the companies with whom he's working through his passion, his enthusiasm, his approach towards life, and his vision for what's possible. When I started working with this man years ago, he became one of my mentors, and I learned quickly that he's also the mentor to thousands, if not tens of thousands of people in the network marketing industry. With more than 25 years experience in this industry, he's started companies, he's taken them to $1 billion. He's left a massive footprint in this network marketing industry. It is really a great privilege to introduce the one and only Mr. Dave Phelps.
Ryan, thank you so much for yet another very generous introduction. It's a real honor for me to be on this call with what I consider to be a star-studded cast. Tonight begins a really great story, and it's a story about people miracles. It's a story about business miracles. Our people miracles are going to come from helping people to eliminate their self-imposed limitations. We're going to help them to create powerful new visions, and ultimately, we're going to help them to believe much bigger than they've ever believed before. And our business miracles come from a dynamic combination of disruptive technology. You hear people talking about it on this call. Our business miracles are going to come from this combination of disruptive technology and an overwhelming market demand. It's no wonder, in fact, that many people are already labeling Global Rescue Direct as what might just be the number one entrepreneurial opportunity in America. We wish tonight that we had time to tell you all that we know. We're simply transforming an industry right here and right now, and we're not just playing to get to first base. This is transformative, and it's grand slam territory. I recently had another experience using that category-creating service of Uber. I was actually super excited to see what was about to happen as I got the reaction of the driver to this great passion of mine, this movement, this crusade, this revolution, and this biggest business project I've ever seen in a quarter century of doing this work. I focused first on her so I could learn a few things about where she comes from, but then I was ready when she asked, "What do I do?" I told her that I work with an incredible team of mentors who help Uber drivers get out of their cars, earn more money, have more freedom, create more fun, and get to do what they want when they want. What on earth was she going to say to that mouthful? She said, I'm still listening, don't stop now. Well, with that green light to continue, I told her that our team believes that in the most advanced, developed, and prosperous country in the world, every American has a fundamental right to receive immediate and high-quality health care at a price affordable to all. And we are the ones leading the movement to get that done. When I said that, she literally pumped her fist into the air while saying, that's exactly what I believe. My response to her was simple and to the point. Our team is partnering with entrepreneurial Americans across all 50 states who share that vision with us and are ready to make a business from helping thousands of people receive that fundamental right. Her humble response touched me pretty deeply when she said, can I be one of those kind of people? You know how I answered. In the United States, how many people are there that might feel like her? Let's be conservative. Tens of millions. At the end of the day, what type of company is Global Rescue Direct? We are a disruptive technology company, and our army of entrepreneurs is bringing a massive solution to the nation's healthcare problem. Just how big is this market? You heard Johnny talk about this a minute ago. And just in the U.S. alone, it's a nearly $4 trillion per year industry, 20% of the American economy. And we are the only network marketing company in this space. At some point, I'm sure there might be some followers, but we are not followers. We're leaders and pioneers, and with skill, expertise, and a gigantic dose of heart, we're pulling an Uber on healthcare. Just how successful is this disruptive technology gig? One example, Uber is a 7-year-old company with a current valuation of $62.5 billion and growing massively. Oh, and by the way, they don't own a single car. Oh, and another by the way, was this business giant founded in some computer science lab at Harvard or Stanford while in the middle of analyzing algorithms or statistical sequencing models? Nope. It was founded because of a snowy evening in Paris in 2008 when a couple guys named Travis and Garrett had trouble hailing a cab. So they came up with a simple idea. Tap a button, get a ride. You met Dan Richards earlier on this call. Countless Global Rescue members asked Dan, as he already told us, if they could get the same extraordinary quality health care when they were at home in the U.S. as when they were in far-flung remote parts of the world. He got tired of saying no, so he came up with a simple idea. Tap a button, get a doctor. This is one of the great indicators of game-changing, inspired, and visionary leadership to see a mega trend in a ginormous industry and get positioned with perfect timing at the very front of that trend. Welcome to the next iconic disruptive technology company. A starring role in this entrepreneurial revolution is waiting for each one of you. Can you see a new future? Can you see a new vision? How about a new mojo? We can definitely see all of that for you. Grab your pen, start writing, and become the hero of your own story. This rocket's on the launch pad, and we'll keep the door open for you. Ryan, back to you.
Wow. All right. Well, that just blew my hair back, Dave. Thank you so much for that. We talk about assembling championship teams, and we've certainly got that here at Global Rescue Direct. So now I have the great privilege of introducing two more members of this championship team. They're personal friends of mine. They've been close business colleagues over the past decade. They've personally built multi-million-dollar businesses in and out of the network marketing industry. Now, what's important for you to understand is these individuals, this husband and wife team, lead with their hearts. They also stand for integrity. They stand for character. They stand for doing what's right 100% of the time. They lift people up and they create success in others. I couldn't really be more excited than I am right now to introduce my great friends and, in fact, the master distributors of Global Rescue Direct. Out of Tucson, Arizona, Mr. and Mrs. Bill and Cynthia Delaney.
Thank you so much, Ryan, for that gracious introduction. And thank you, Dan, Doug, and Dave for incredible vision and teamwork. We're honored to be running along all of your sides, as well as Johnny Tashin. You're so absolutely incredible. This is an exciting time for all of us. We've been involved in the network marketing industry during the past decade, and we're grateful to have experienced firsthand the impact that it can have in transforming people's lives. In fact, improving people's lives is the biggest gift that we ourselves have been given. By disrupting this $7 trillion industry with an army of visionaries, we also believe that we're writing history. And this is the biggest movement to ever enter the marketplace, you guys, let alone the network marketing space. As entrepreneurs in the independent business owners, and as part of this Global Rescue Direct team, you need to understand what our values are. We believe and stand for the entrepreneurial spirit, for entrepreneurship. We believe in changing lives. We believe and stand for free market enterprise. And we believe and stand for diversification in business and creating multiple streams of income. We believe in network marketing as the most viable way for hardworking people to build residual incomes for their families. In fact, that's what brought us to network marketing. Bill and I wanted a better life for our family, and we wanted to be able to give that to others. And the rest is history, as thousands of lives have been a part of ours, and we've been able to be a piece and a speck of their family's financial future. We believe in building a culture of like-minded, hardworking people who also stand for these things and that are working together as a team. We believe in a team that has each other's backs, that builds each other up and creates opportunity so that all the members of this team succeed. We have the Super Bowl winning team, and at Global Rescue Direct and as global business owners, they will always have our backs. If you can't see it right now, you guys, I've got a gigantic smile on my face. To be a part of something so gigantic that is destined to impact the world in so many lives, we also believe in always positioning ourselves in front of the right opportunity. Because it's not just about any one of us, it's about all of us. And not allowing it to pass us up. Knowing how critically important timing is and in maximizing the earning potential of the opportunity is where each and every one of you sit on this call tonight. We want everyone listening to know that we would not be here if this was not the biggest opportunity of a lifetime. And we want to share this with you. Our absolute excitement with all of you is about what you're hearing tonight, because we've never been involved in something this massive, this impactful, and this story that's about to be told that applies to all of us. We all have a front row seat to the evolution of the biggest industry on the planet. We're looking forward to teaming up with those of you that are like-minded, with those of you that have values and ambitions that align with ours, and we can't wait to celebrate all of the victories with each and every one of you. For you, the time is now. For you, the time is for you to take what we have to offer to the world, because who needs it and who deserves it? You can hear the excitement in my voice, but it expands out to all of those that you've heard before us. And the one that I'm about to introduce to you now, who is my husband and one of my business partners, closest to my heart, my husband, Bill Delaney. Bill, take it away.
Thanks, baby. Man, so excited to be on with you guys tonight. The teamwork that you guys are experiencing right now is incredible. It's incredible to be a part of it. I'm excited for you to feel what this feels like to be a part of this team. You heard Dan describe a vision that'll transform the world, and right now we believe that's exactly what's happening. Technology is making the impossible possible. Let's face it, it's easy for us to agree that we're a society of instant gratification. And it's also easy for us to agree that healthcare is broken. And just about everyone you know is frustrated with the cost, quality, and access of care. Global Rescue has a 12-year record of success delivering virtual health in the furthest reaches of planet Earth. And now we're bringing that same world-class service to the homes of millions of Americans. Let's shift our focus right now to you guys. I want to shift the focus to what do we do next. We're assembling an army of entrepreneurs to begin this revolution, and it starts with you pre-enrolling on our website, begintherevolution.com. That's begintherevolution.com. You can select your annual membership. You won't be charged until we launch in August. You'll be given an ID number, and with that ID number, you'll be able to enroll others onto your team and literally pre-build an organization before anyone is charged a single dime. Once cards are charged in August, we'll pay out the first commission checks, and they're going to be enormous. You guys, this is something that Cynthia and I have experienced before. We're not guessing what's going to happen. It's not something we think. It's not something we hope. It's something that we know is going to take place. An opportunity like this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to sign up before a company launches. It'll make a massive difference in your earning potential and the earning potential of your entire team. The difference between being early and being in pre-launch is two completely different universes. 1 + 1 = 2 normally, but in pre-launch, 1 + 1 = 10. There's no amount of work that you're going to do later to make up for the advantage of having great timing, you guys, great timing. So we're certain that you're going to see the magnitude of this opportunity the same as we do. And if you believe in the things and stand for the things that we do, I'm sure you do, then let's not let this opportunity pass you by. Tomorrow we go live with begintherevolution.com. One more time, begintherevolution.com. Join us. Let's revolutionize this multi-trillion-dollar industry together and make the world a better place. We're literally impacting and changing, improving lives. We're impacting humanity, you guys. This thing is that big. So we're excited to meet you in person, see you soon, and celebrate all the victories. Ryan Thompson, we want to thank you for hosting this call. We appreciate you and the rest of the team. We love y'all. And back to you, Ryan.
All right. Thank you so much, Bill. Thank you so much, Cynthia. And really, I want to thank everybody who participated on this call tonight. I especially want to thank you, the listener, because as I said at the top of this call, this is really about you tonight. We've talked a lot about revolutionizing the $7 trillion industry. We've talked about assembling this army of entrepreneurs as a vehicle to penetrate the industry and revolutionize it. But now I want to get really real with you for just a moment before we close this call, because I know that there is a natural tendency to be afraid of making change or even of betting on yourself. There are always 100 or hundreds, if not thousands of reasons that we can create for ourselves as to why we think we should not take advantage of an opportunity. I want you to know that as you've listened to us tonight, I believe that you're beginning to see the vision for what we've laid out to you. I encourage you to find the one reason why you should join us. Push through all those reasons that are telling you you should not. We encourage you to bet on yourself. We encourage you to push through fear and the fear of change. On the other side of that fear, is great possibility, a bright future, and a freedom to live your life the way life was meant to be lived. So, again, I'm joining my voice with the voice of all those who have shared tonight, thanking you for joining and listening to us. Again, underscoring what Bill said, pre-enroll beginning tomorrow at begintherevolution.com. Lock arms with us and join us as we begin the revolution. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you all very soon. Thank you.